Man, it's just not a vibe.
It's not a vibe? Yeah,
Nah,
it's not the best music either.
nah.
Good morning, Erin. Let's tell the world that Erin's only woke up like 30 seconds ago. She was running late. She's just gone and shined her forehead up to make herself look nice and fresh.
Solo parenting at the moment, okay, and the kids had a bit of a wild night, and they both were in the middle. I was in the middle of both of them, so that was super fun.
Oh, nice.
And then I must have just slept through my alarm. I actually didn't even hear it go off, and usually it'll keep going off. And then I woke up and I'm like, it's unusually bright outside. What time is it? And I was like, oh my God, it's
6. That's
okay.
right. You're here.
We've got coffee.
You got coffee. We're here. Morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. It's time for Q&A live. So any questions you got, please feel free to drop them in the comments, wherever you can. I've been to the gym this morning again. Wednesday morning early session with wifey's been highlight of the week, to be honest. It's good. I
love that. So you've been with wifey every Wednesday?
Yeah, it's been good. It's good for both of us, I think. Just for the time being.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think it annoys her that I have a few more exercises in mine than hers, and she finishes a bit earlier than me, and then poor thing has to wait around while I'm doing curls for the girls. But anyway,
she can just watch
you. You don't get these little puffies for no reason, yeah? Know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Good morning, Lauren. How are you, my friend? James, good morning. How's it going? It's good to have everyone here today. Hopefully we answer some of your questions. Again, please fire away if you have any on-the-spot stuff that you need help with. I'm going to give it another minute or so for a few of us to join us. Are we good to go? I'm nearly choking. Looks like we're all good on the groups. Yep, sweet. Okay.
On my end, anyway.
Jump on my profile, make sure we're on there so I can chuck all the questions in there. There's a nice comment there from somebody saying, my wife goes to the same gym, you stand in front of the mirror. Okay, thanks, Pete. I really appreciate that. Don't know why that couldn't come up here on the comment section. That's really weird. Really glad it didn't, to be honest. FYI, Pete's a penis. Just let you know. I went to school with Pete. No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Wow. Horrible.
What's that?
I said, you're horrible.
No, I'm not. I'm a good guy. I'm the best. Yeah, I don't know why, Pete. Unfortunately, I don't know why your comment's not coming up, mate. Such a shame. Morning, Jeff. How are you, mate? Morning, Shani. Morning, Facebook user. Don't know who that is, but we're good to go. What's that?
I said hit the restream if you need to.
Yeah.
Facebook user.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question we had, and let me just see if this works because I don't know. Something feels like my profile's not working at the moment, and if it doesn't, I'll have to chuck it in the other group because it's not popping up. Let me quickly have a look. Streaming. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel like it's popping up this morning. All right. First question is, as a woman, not me personally, I'm just saying this as a question. As a woman, should I take creatine? If so, how much? Okay. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound found in small amounts of foods and stuff that we eat. And it's also produced by our body. It is probably one of the most studied supplements on the market. It is extremely safe to use. It's safe for men and women, but we're talking about the questions to do with women. Scoop a day from Bull Nutrients, hey? Yep, I'm guessing, but you get yours from Bull Nutrients. It sounds horny. Sorry, dad joke. Yeah, so it's one of the most widely studied supplements on the market. Has very minimal side effects if you don't have enough water. Obviously, its prime focus is it draws water to the muscles to help you get a few extra reps out in the gym. The typical recommended dose is 3 to 5 grams per day.
Which is about a teaspoon, isn't it?
Beg your pardon?
It's about a teaspoon, isn't it?
About a teaspoon, yeah, correctly. So about a teaspoon a day, which is about 5 grams. but studies have been done over the last 10 years to show that possibly increasing it to 10 grams a day will actually be beneficial in the long run. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a genius when it comes to those things, but check it out beforehand. But yeah, it's totally safe. It's really good for high intensity, short duration activities such as weight training. Not sort of really good for endurance work. So if you're wanting to get a few extra reps out in the gym and you want to do it safely, creatine is your best thing to use. Supplement.
I like to think of it as like it's not a pre-workout, but it kind of to think of it, it's kind of got the same concept of you're just getting a little bit extra out of your workout.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to go in and if you've had creatine, you're going to have an amazing workout. You're still going to have good ones. You're still going to have bad ones, but it's beneficial. But it's also not necessary. There's times where I don't remember to take it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not like I'm completely derailing my progress.
No.
I'm not taking it.
That's right. And it's not something that you're going to feel the effects of straight away. Like anything, you need to have it over time for it to actually get its best benefit out of it. But you constantly, even on your days off, you can still take it. It's still going to benefit you in some sort of way. So do you need to have it away from caffeine? No, you don't, mate. You don't. It doesn't have any buzz effect. It really is just a targeting supplement that goes to your muscles. When you do your little micro tears, it fills those micro tears with water, so you're getting that pump and you can get a couple of extra reps out. Pretty much it in a nutshell. So, yep, the question was, is it safe for women? Yep, 100%, about 3 to 5 grams a day, teaspoon, which is the best thing to do. Put that in memory. Yeah, anything else to add?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm going to keep this one shorter than what it was. I can't, for some reason, the questions aren't popping up on the screen, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. How will I know if I'm in a plateau? Is there any way to get through or over a plateau? And what should I focus on? Do you want to have a crack first?
I like this because so when you're in a calorie deficit for a period of time, your body actually, or your metabolism gets used to that amount of calories. So really you're not in you're not in a plateau. Your maintenance levels just changed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is then when it comes into if you still have a bit of weight to lose and you're noticing that things have plateaued out a bit, things aren't moving and your nutrition's on point. You've upped your steps a little bit or you've just upped your intensity of your workouts, then it's probably likely that your body's maintenance level that's its new maintenance level. Got to look at a reverse diet.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it for when we're talking about purely nutrition and metabolism. But the true definition of a plateau is when you adapt to something over time and it becomes really easy or it becomes stagnant, right? That's putting it in terms for everyone to sort of understand. It's like with your workout routine. If you're sitting at the bench and you're just repping out
the same
100 kilos or 50 kilos all the time, it's time for you to increase your intensity to get out of that plateau because you're not going to progressively, build your muscle. So, it can lead to a lack of progress, which is where we call it the maintenance level or stagnant. So to overcome it, what we got to do, like Erin said, increase our calories, go into a reverse diet.
It's super exciting.
Or conversely, if we're in a plateau, it's meaning something's wrong and we're not tracking or we're not doing something to its full extent. With weight loss, obviously it's not linear. It doesn't just drop. It goes down in a nice little weird pattern. But if you're early on and you hit a plateau, generally it means you've stopped doing something, and 90% of the time that's tracking your nutrition or not doing your steps.
These are little things that add up very quickly too. Yeah. Like for myself early on, I had a bit of a plateau and I was super frustrated with myself. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. And it was something as simple as I wasn't counting like the sauces and things that I was using, and like the seasoning packets, like you get your taco seasoning packets. They're actually like super high in calories.
Yeah.
Super high in calories. And you just wouldn't think because you think it's a spice. So you just don't think to track it. But all those little things start to add up and you think, oh, I'm in a plateau. And then actually, no, I'm not.
Yeah, correct. And that was my point is something's missing. You've stopped doing something to make sure that your weight loss keeps going down. So whether it is you've stopped tracking something, all of it, most of the time our clients use the word plateau because it sounds cool. I'm in a plateau. I'm in a plateau. It's like, hang on, put your fucking head in. What are you doing wrong? Let's go back and look at your data. Number one, your water's not up. Number two, you're not doing your steps. Number three, you haven't tracked. Well, hey, you're in a plateau because you fucked up. So it's time to get back on, start tracking and doing the things that to increase your weight loss quicker. When it comes to the gym, you're in a plateau because you're not lifting heavy enough. You've got to a point where you're not progressively overloading your body, so you're not seeing any increase in size or because simply you're just at the same weight level. So incorporate new exercises or increase your weight load, but with weight loss, either look at a reverse diet. If you're at the bottom of your weight loss level and your maintenance calories are sitting there, yeah, cool, you've done all your weight loss. Or if you are at a point where you're still losing weight and you've hit the wall, well, you've fucked up somewhere and you've stopped tracking. So yeah, there's nothing.
A good comment here. A plateau isn't a bad thing.
Correct.
It's a good thing. Just means that you're at the next level.
Or you're not doing the right thing to continue on. So yeah, it has two advantages, right? It's a wake-up call, or it's a, hey, we're at the place where we need to be now. Let's increase to get our weight loss up or down or whatever it is that we want to do. So yeah, it's a good thing. But that's a good question. It's a really good question. Frequency of workouts for the average gym goer. Hang on, sorry, wrong question. Where is it? Yeah, is working out twice or thrice a day? Twice. Is working out 2 or 3 times a day beneficial for an average gym goer? Will I see more results? Average gym goers don't need to work out 3 times a day. Okay. Depending on what you want to consider a workout. To me, a workout is at the gym. Walking is not a workout. Okay. Walking is cardio work that we do to increase our cardiovascular, but also give us a couple extra calories per day in the bank. Okay. 2 to 3 times a day, you're going to burn out super quickly. If you're an F45 bunny and you love jumping around and doing all that shit, you're going to burn out really quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're going to feel super, super fatigued.
Reason why I know, I was one of those guys. Okay, it shredded me up. I lost a shit ton of weight, but I was fatigued as hell because I didn't have time to rest. I wanted to do 2 classes a day. Yeah, let's do it. I'm a hero. I can do 2 1-hour sessions. No.
That's not sustainable, is it? Like, I think about the long term, there is no way as a mum with kids and a life, I could go to the gym 3 days a week, 3 times a day. That's just so unrealistic. I'm never going to be able to maintain that.
Well, we're talking average gym goers. We're talking mums and dads. We're talking people, like you said, are time poor. We're not athletes. If we're athletes, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Yeah, cool. Okay. Because
set up to be able to do that amount of work through the day without feeling the fatigue like a normal gym goer would.
Correct. Athletes will be eating enough calories to be able to do that 3 times a day. Everybody out there that's trying to lose weight, you're in a calorie deficit, so your energy levels are going to be lower. So you can't afford to train 2 to 3 times a day because your body's going to be screaming out for more energy. And then that's when the old you will kick in, knowing that you're hungry and you want to get something in fast, and you'll go to shit food, and then you're just basically ruining everything that you've done. So for average gym goers, once a day, 3 times a week would be cool. That's probably even 2 you can get away if you do a decent session per week. But for me, it's quality over quantity. I would rather 2 to 3 mad 1-hour sessions in the gym where I'm fully dedicated and I'm lifting heavy, or I'm lifting my reps or hitting my targets and feeling good. It doesn't have to be a sweat session, or it doesn't have to come out feeling like I've got DOMS all the time. Just full concentration, mind, muscle connection, hitting my rep targets. Like, I would rather have quality over quantity in the gym. So to me, it's not about pounding yourself 3 times a day. It's about having 3 quality sessions during the week and giving yourself enough time to rest and recover in between so you can go out and do it again. But average Joe, 2 times a day is just absolutely stupid. Not when we come talking about weight loss, because we're in a deficit, low energy, can't go back over it. So cool. Excellent. Is homemade fries better than regular fries? Yeah, homemade fries better than regular fries you get in a restaurant or fast food chain? Great question.
I think it depends how you cook them.
Correct.
if you're cooking it in like the same amount of like you're deep frying it like they would in the restaurants or the shops, then there's absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
Maybe if you make them from potatoes yourself, they possibly might be a little bit lower, but if you're cooking it in oil, then it's just still exactly the same.
Yeah, definitely is. The good component about homemade anything is you're in control of
How it's
what you put,
Mm.
and how you cook it. So I love an air fryer. I think they're one of the most amazing things ever invented in terms
Oh
of
my goodness. I found out the other day they now make ovens, like ovens
Yeah.
with air fryers in.
I know. Kind of like,
What world do we live in at the moment?
an oven can be an air fryer if you have the fan force, but it's about how you layer it so the fat can drip off. That's the most important part, right? But yeah, homemade anything. So portion sizes matter too, because a lot of fast food chains give you over like the portion size. Like, a large fries is generally for two, not for one. So for me, when I'm at home, I average one potato per person is about the right amount of fries. But yeah, it's like anything home cooked is heaps better because you're in absolute control of how you cook it, what you put on top of it, so we can keep the calories and the fats down as low as possible. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. Okay, why do I still have stubborn belly fat? Everything looks good except for my lower belly. Guilty. Because I love food too much to put myself into that much of a deficit where I want to strip right down to a really low body fat percentage. Belly fat is because you are, it's what you're putting in your body eating, right? It's purely that. You can do as much crunches as you want. You'll get a tight, smad, really hardcore core, but you will not get abs or visible belly ab lines if you are eating without being in a proper deficit. And I'm talking about a more serious deficit. It's one of the hardest places to lose weight. It's probably the last place men especially lose weight. Women, it's usually hips as well and the backside. But yeah, it's purely comes down to the food you put in your mouth and in your belly, in your body. So
it's a little bit different for women too, though, because obviously as women, we naturally have more weight around our stomach area because we're designed to grow life inside of us in that area, and it's like an installation.
Yeah, I like that.
That's exactly what it is. And when you think about that, you think, okay, well, yeah, it's annoying, it's frustrating, but like you said, if your nutrition's on point, like, why would you want to go into some crazy diet and be super, super ripped? That is really hard to maintain that. Really hard to maintain that.
Yep.
And then you're just living super restricted, and I guess you've just got to learn to accept sometimes what your body is.
Yeah.
But actually look at the bigger picture. Have you lost a heap of weight? Look at your before photos, look at your after photos, because sometimes the perception you have in your head, I know there's a couple of ladies inside the academy that have made comments of, I'm just really frustrated with the stubborn belly, the belly fat. And to look at them as an outsider, I would not pick that would ever be an issue for them because they look amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a personal thing, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's comes down to how lean do you want to be? What's the reason for it? Are you going to a show? Do you want some really cool photos for your Instagram pics? I'm a dad. I love doing my endurance stuff. I don't need to be super ripped. I don't need that. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to have a six pack and that, but I don't want that responsibility to be managing my diet to the T every single day. That's my opinion, right? Someone like Jace, who's been working out for 20 odd years and he's got a body like an Adonis, and he's at the perfect maintenance level for himself to continue doing that. And that's unbelievable. That's really cool. I'm a little bit more free when it comes to my diet compared to Jace, right?
But you also have the knowledge that if you do want to be ripped, you can be.
Yeah. But I don't want that pressure on myself because I don't need it. So for me, I would rather, hey, I love doing my endurance stuff. I love eating donuts. I love eating nutritious food, right? But that's the trade-off for me. So do I look good with a shirt off? Yeah, I feel comfortable. You know, do I look like the Instagram model? No chance. Ironically, and I haven't said this to anyone, I actually had a woman not want to be coached by me because I wouldn't send her a picture of my six-pack.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was quite I was shocked. I've never had that happen to me before. And I actually just said, no fucking chance. I said, if I asked a female coach, hey, show me your ass, I'm not going to work out with you unless your ass is like a, truck or whatever you guys call it these days, a dump truck ass. but imagine the uproar I would have got.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So, hey, lift your shirt up and show me your abs or I'm not going to work with you. I'm like, well, you're not my type of client.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life. So yeah, stubborn belly fat will be there if you don't tighten up your diet. If you want a six-pack, you're going to have to go.
Also, the belly fat side of things, if you lose a lot of weight, you could be like me and have the extra skin too.
Yep, correct.
There's absolutely nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, correct.
Like, it's frustrating. I know. I can feel my abs underneath that loose skin. And I'm like, oh, God, I would just be like, I would look so ripped. But I can't see it because of the excess skin that, is there because of weight loss. And that's where you've got to learn to kind of embrace where you're at in your journey. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's annoying. I've had people make comments about it and like, oh, wow, you're super confident to wear high-waisted tights and a crop top and have that. And I'm like, I was confident until you said that.
I hate the fact
that frustrating, but
I hate the fact
that
yeah, but people think that they can have their opinion on you, and most of those people, respectfully, aren't fit themselves or working on themselves. They're just still in a place of denial, and the only way that they can get any form of joy in their life is to take the piss out of us that are actually super fit, healthy. We can lift really well. Like, I hate the fact that people do that. It comes down to your personal preference. So stubborn belly fat is because you're not in a tight enough deficit. Go lower if you want that. If that's your goal, sweet, we can help you with that. Is it sustainable? No. Can you sustain 5% body fat? You can, sure. It takes a lot of hard work and effort, and you cannot skip up. If you want to look lean and you want to feel good in your skin and you want to be able to get into a cozy and be at 17% body fat, that's still pretty good. It's still bloody awesome. Average male is about 20 to 25%, and that's called morbidly obese, but it's not, in my opinion. But yeah, stubborn belly fat comes down to purely diet. End of story. You can do as many crunches as you want. You'll have a mad core, but you'll still have fat above that. So I call my abs stealth abs, right? They're there, but no one can see them, right? They're flying under the radar. Hit me in the gut, pretty strong, but I still have.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to use that. I've got stealth abs.
Yeah, that's why I'm stealthy. I've got stealth abs. What do you mean? You can't see them, but they're there, mate. Don't worry. Oh, dear. But yeah, tighten your diet up. If you want abs, you got to tighten it up really super strict. And you're going to feel like shit and be hungry all the time. What's your best remedy if you have trouble sleeping at night, no matter how tired you are? I think we had this question last week. To me, it's consistent sleep schedule gets you your circadian rhythm intact. Your pre-bed ritual has a lot to do with your outcome of the night. If you're hyperactive, as in doing stuff, going to the gym late at night, having caffeine, stimulating movies, on your phone all the time, it's going to probably be hard for you to sleep. So if you can get your pre-bed routine down pat, as in, go to bed at the same time roughly every night, have soothing teas. Like I like a tea called Sleepy Time or something like that. It's got chamomile, honey and something like that. It just relaxes me, I guess. It's probably probably bullshit, but it makes me feel good, right? It's part of my routine.
It helps you go to sleep and sleep well. So
try and stay off your phone. Try and get as much less blue light as possible. But it all comes down to routine. And Also, nutrition plays a big part in sleep. Again, if you're eating shit food and you're full of sugars and salts and stuff like that, you're going to be up all night trying to go to the toilet and all that stuff as well. So let's get a balanced diet in there as well, so we can also put our body into autopilot when it comes to functioning. That's pretty much all I've got to say on that. You? That's it?
Yep.
Okay. I like this one because it's about you and me, right? What's the one fitness advice you can give yourself from when you first started, knowing what you know now? What's yours?
I don't know. There's a lot. I guess maybe the top one would be just start.
Yep.
Start, because everything kind of falls into place after that. It did for me, but to get started was huge. That was the hardest step for me. It wasn't about continuing on, because I knew I had a whole bunch of people behind me to keep pushing me forward, but it was me on my own, overweight, depressed, sad, lost, didn't know what to do, had no trust in any program, any diet, any whatever. I had no trust in any, because they all promised all these wonderful things. But I just had to get started. Back myself and get started.
Back yourself and get started. I like it. That's good. For me, I think consistency and discipline are the two, I guess, keys and pillars to what my success has been. Inconsistent routine at the gym or training or whatever it is, you lose focus, you lose your path if you don't have your goals laid out in front of you. So I think progress may be slow. You're making small, sustainable changes, but consistency really just outrules everything else. That comes to diet as well as weight training, right? We've got to make sure we are consistently on track with our nutrition, consistently on track with our training, consistently on track with our steps. So consistency and discipline are the two things that I think I would tell my younger self if I was starting again. Say, hey, dude, you want this rig or you want this goal, you've got to be consistent.
I love that.
Yeah. It's actually probably a good metaphor for life, right? You want to be a good husband, you got to be consistent. You want to be a good partner, you got to be consistent. You want to be a good dad, you got to be consistent. You want to be good at your job, you got to be consistent. So, yeah. Okay, why is it that I feel bloated eating white rice and feel bigger, but if I have pasta or bread, I feel fine and can eat that all day? I say you're a fucking legend if you can eat pasta and bread all day and not put
I'm pooping myself.
Yeah, it would be a blockage for me, mate. Pasta and bread all day would be I'd be backed up to no end. So weddings can be influenced by individuals' digestive, I guess, systems, right? We all take starchy foods differently. Some people find rice more difficult to digest due to starch composition, I guess, but more so portion size, right? We tend to eat more rice than we do pasta and bread because it's kind of little and it's deceiving, and most people don't weigh it out. They're like, hey, a cup or two or three, and then, we fill ourselves up on rice. So again, pasta and bread might not cause it, but it depends if you're having white bread, white pasta. Wholemeal pasta is a bit easier to digest. Bean pasta, again, that's something that's totally different. But bloating can come down to portion sizes, the actual type of rice or bread and pasta, how you digest it, how your body reacts. If you're celiac or, what's the other one with intolerant and things like that, that's going to definitely affect the way you feel. But most of the time it comes down to how much eating, right? Yeah. And water can affect it.
What are you having with it as well? Like, if you're having pasta, are you having the creamy sauce with it and things like that? That's obviously going to make you feel super bloated because it's super high in calories. And it's going to take a really long time to digest because you've had such a huge amount of it. And then you add the bread into it. And I don't know about anyone, but like takeaway pizza and things like that, I used to just sit back and think, oh my God. And like, yeah, you feel that bloated.
But
Like,
you're also having garlic bread with it too, so it's like
yeah, but it's just so high in calories that your body's just like, I don't know how to process all of this. This is too
yeah, it's
much.
high in calories. It's got processed meats on it most of the time, real salty meat. So it's drawing all the water in your body, and it's making you feel like shit as well. But we're talking, rice versus pasta and bread. Again, it comes down to the individual mostly, and I think to me, it's the portion sizes. Like, we can see 2 slices of bread, but rice we kind of like.
A little bit.
We finished that a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like making smoothies or protein shakes, but I want to add more than just the water and powder. What can I add for a lean protein shake? I kind of like and hate this question because I hate the word lean, right? Or clean or all that bullshit. It's going to come down to your calories and your target. If you need to bulk, if you need to gain muscle, having a higher calorie. Sorry, mate. What was that?
You're obviously going to be able to add more into the smoothies if you're bulking.
Yeah. So the question's about lean. So let's talk about weight loss. Let's talk about what can I put in there that's low in calories, higher in fiber, I like to think, and higher in protein. Yeah. So we won't talk about bulking. I was just going to add that in for clarity. So to make a lean protein shake, I think that if you want to bulk it up, Greek yogurt would be really cool because it's very good bang for buck calorie versus protein target and adds a bit of creaminess to it. Or almond milk or skim milk again.
You can get like the low sugar and they're super low in calories. The like chocolate sauce that you can get from Coles and things like that. If you want to have like a chocolate,
the Natvia stuff.
Yeah. Or you can get caramel flavoring and maple syrup and things like that. You can add these things in, berries, Halo Top ice cream if you want like a actual thick shake type drink.
Great idea. Berries are good. Frozen berries as well frozen berries are good because they make it a little bit more colder and you don't have to put ice in it as well. Ice is good actually just for adding volume and making it fuller and a scoop of nut butter if you feel like a bit more protein. Again, watch the calories on that. The better version of that would be powdered peanut butter, which is lower in calories and the protein level's a bit higher, which is really cool. Greens, don't discount spinaches and celeries and stuff that can like really get grinded up to a pulp, but the fiber factor for that's really good as well. And we're feeling it and we're feeling ourselves. Fiber fills us a bit more as well. So, to skip past just having water and protein powder if you want to make it to a smoothie, it'd be, what we just said. Yogurt.
But it all depends on your overall daily calories. Have whatever you want, but if you know what you should be having and what you shouldn't be having, then
track it. Always put it in MyFitnessPal, see the calories on it, and work out what's better for you. A 300 to 400 calorie shake is probably bang on because you should be getting 30 to 40 grams of protein in that, which is a great start to the day or midday snack or however you have your smoothies. But volume fillers are really good, but look for berries, bananas, spinaches.
And if you want to add some extra things in there, half the time you don't need to use the almond milk.
Yeah.
If you're adding all this extra stuff, you can still just use water.
Yeah, and most powders these days are creamy with water.
Yeah,
that's right.
Adding in frozen mango or things like that, you don't need the milk.
Yeah,
just kind of adding it for no reason, for no real extra change in the flavor or the texture or anything.
Yeah, and dark chocolate nibs, my favorite. Antioxidants, but also a little bit of chocolate. It's always good. That's awesome. I have one more question to go through now. Suzanne, I should have said that so wrong, and I'm going to get slapped for it later, but I don't care. Okay, is it better for weight loss to increase weights and keep at 12 reps or increase reps and stay at the same weight? Your question is it better for weight loss? For us, I would rather you build a bigger engine because if you're hitting your calorie target and you're in a deficit and you're doing your walking every day, they're the benefiting factors of taking the weight off. If you're at the gym and you're building a bigger frame, I want you to progressively overload your body. So I would rather you Find out what your rep range is. If we're saying 3 sets of 12 and you pick up 5 kilos and you knock out 12, well, that's not the start. That's a warm up in my eyes. You've got to get to 12 and you've got to be really struggling. One thing to note, guys, too, is, and this is super important, if we're at the gym and we pick up the 5 kilo dumbbells and we go, oh, this is super light, I'm going to go to 7.5. Have a think about it. That's a 30-odd% increase in your weight. Now, nobody's going to lie down on the bench press and load up 60 kilos and go, oh, hang on, that's a bit light. I'm going to chuck 100 on. Okay. Fuck, like, seriously, listen to this, right? If 5 kilos is too light and you want to jump up to 7.5 and you might go and you get 8 out of the 12, well, it's totally wrong. I would rather you do 6, like increase it by 10% or whatever, not by 33%. We've got to think of it that way. Same as a bench press. If we're doing 60 kilo and it's too easy, for me, I'd be going 65. I'd be going 62.5, putting the little bumpers on the side just to see how that feels. I'm not going to go to 100 because, number one, I'm going to fail. Number two, probably drop it on my chest and knock myself out. So yeah, is it better for weight loss to keep it at 12 reps and increase the weight? Yeah, in my opinion, definitely, because I want you to build a bigger engine so you can eat more food, and then that counteracts by helping us lose our weight. If you want to do endurance work and you want to keep it the same weight and do more reps, 100%, that's no problem. But I'd rather you be at a maintenance level where you're happy with your weight and you're not sort of building any more muscle, and then we can work on that one. Anything to add?
No, I think keeping it super simple with that one, because you could go pretty deep and complicated with that.
Definitely. Again, the question's about weight loss. So for me, I would rather you focus on nutrition and steps as your deficit, bringing the weight down, and then go into the gym and build it in a bigger frame so we can eat more food later on. And then the good thing about lifting weights while you're losing weight is when the fat comes off, you have muscle come through, you get definition, and then all of a sudden, you feel like, holy shit, all of that was worth it.
Fighter and you feel really good in yourself.
If you're just going to lose weight without going to the gym and you do lose weight, you're just going to have a little bit of saggier skin, not as much definition. And it's going to be a little bit more disappointing because you won't be seeing results. Like, it's not about aesthetics to a lot of people, and I understand that, but there is nothing better than obviously seeing a bicep pop through or a tricep or your chest popping out.
Isn't it? Building a bit of muscle is actually long-term for when we get older, so we're not so frail and, trip over, break our knee and then end up in a casket. That's the goal at the end of the day. It's not about aesthetics. It's about longevity of life.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
Heavy words.
Yeah, definitely. In saying that, I think that's it for today. If anyone else has got any questions, fire away. Send a message to us in the comment section of whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, I don't care. Put a comment there and I'll get to it next week and we'll answer it live. But thanks for joining us, guys. I really appreciate it. I love coming on and providing value. If you got anything out of this, please chuck in the comments what, maybe you've learned something new, or #replay if you're watching on the replay. We'll see you again this time next week. Thanks, Esmeralda. Lovely having you here today. The Wicked Witch of the West, Esmeralda. We need to get you a wicked hat.
Names that I get.
Yeah, no worries. All right. See you guys. Thank you.